Live life like an incense stick. There lived a Buddhist monk called Gohang in China. His teachings were centered on the principle of non-violence. His style of teaching too was very effective, and he was able to influence and transform the lives of many people. They had become compassionate and sensitive towards the fellow living beings. Once, Gohang heard about an island called Formasi which was inhabited by a wild barbaric tribe. The people of this tribe were so cruel and savage that they would not hesitate to kill even humans for food. Gohang thought of visiting this island in order to spread the message of non-violence. Many of his well-wishers warned him against going there because the people of that island were uncivilized and ruthless, and in many ways similar to ferocious animals like lions and tigers. Moreover, he did not know the language spoken by the tribe, so he would have difficulties communicating with them. It would not be possible for him to impart the teachings of non-violence in such a situation. Gohang nevertheless brushed aside these worries, saying that he knew the language of love which was understood by one and all. Without listening to anyone, he went ahead on his mission and reached the island. The tribal people were surprised to see a visitor on their island. Gohang began working on his mission. He would greet everyone with a smile. Slowly, he also learned the language spoken by the tribe. He started educating the people on the virtues of non-violence and exhorted them to give up meat and other violent ways of life. The tribal folks too began to see value in his teachings. They could see that he had selflessly given up a comfortable life at home and was living amongst them in this jungle, facing hardships for no reason but for the welfare of the tribe. For them, he had arrived as a messenger of God. Gradually, they completely gave up non-vegetarian food. However, there was one matter on which they were not willing to listen to Gohang. They had been following an age-old custom of offering human life as a sacrifice to God every year. The elderly people of the island were not ready to stop this annual practice. A lot of tribal people had by now become ardent followers of Gohang. Despite their best efforts, they were not able to convince the people in charge to end this practice. The day of this ritualistic sacrifice was approaching quickly. Gohang said, "If you are not willing to stop this practice, please at least allow me to choose the person for sacrifice." No one had a problem with this. Pointing to a hillock, Gohang said, "Okay, on the day of sacrifice, please kill the person who appears from behind that hillock and offer him as the sacrifice." Everyone agreed. On the day of sacrifice, everyone assembled near the hillock. In some time, a person whose face was covered with cloth came from behind the hillock. They all pounced upon that person and killed him. They removed the cloth covering his face. Alas, it was Gohang. They were all stunned when they saw him. They felt as if a bolt of lightning had hit them. They had killed the same person who had come to them as a messenger of God. They realized that he had given up his own life for the sake of bringing the violent practice of human sacrifice to an end. They all repented for their action and resolved that his sacrifice should not go in vain. Then and there, everyone unanimously decided to bring an end to all kinds of sacrifice. No one would be killed anymore. This was their way to pay back for everything that Gohang had done for them. It was their tribute to him. An incense stick gives its fragrance to others but burns itself in the process. Similarly, there are people like Gohang, albeit very few, who give up their own lives for the well-being of others. In their death, they teach a lesson to others. The names of such noble people get written in golden letters. Let us all stop violence ourselves and become messengers of peace for those practicing violence. Let us spread the message of non-violence far and wide.